Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a little bonus live stream here on a Sunday evening. I got a new project, and you might recall, or you have already seen that a while back I did a tool for multi-plotting, like do multiple stops with in Elite, so you could take like multiple waypoints and plot them into this tool, and it will then calculate an optimal route between them, or just to help do routes with multiple waypoints at the same time. Now I just released the first patch for it, so if you have the tool already, you can go and unfortunately you'll have to re-download it right now. The way it is right now, we have to go and download it again. But yeah, but it's basically just some bug fixing and helping people who have issues getting the tool to work. I added some more debugging options, and I added some backwards compatibility and compatibility with folders with spaces in them, which apparently was an issue. But that should be working now, and so it was just a bug fixing patch I did for that tool. Oh yeah, and I should say, Skorgrim was extremely quickly in here. Was here before I even managed to copy the link to live stream and post it anywhere. So notification squad right there. Anyway, so that's the route plotting tool is I'm still developing that, and I'm still gonna keep that thing up to date as things happen. But there is another tool that I also wanted to do, and this is something I've been thinking about pretty much since the new exploration come out, because this is planning to be a add-on to the new exploration tools. And I've done this very differently than I did with my last project. The last project was purely coded in PowerShell, and I've learned a lot from the last project. I should say that even though I do work as a programmer full-time, I don't do YouTube as a living, nowhere near able to do that, but I don't really work with front-end stuff. That means all the graphical stuff and all how to, like, probably on live, while users are doing requests, how do we pull in information, stuff like that. I'm not used to those kind of problems, so this is very new to me, and there's a lot of stuff that I had to learn. So for this new project, I decided to do this completely different, and I said, okay, I still want access to the .NET framework, but PowerShell was, well, it was easy to program, but it was not easy to deploy out to people and make it run for people. So I decided to go and says, okay, I better go and learn C#. So yesterday, last night, I said, okay, well, I better sit down and begin to learn some C#, and that's what I did. And I started programming the tool, and the idea was just, to get things going and kind of like begin to get the things rolling, get some things together and see where it goes. And and I just want to show you where I'm at the moment. Let me just get chat up here. You correct the dollar. Yeah, that should also have been corrected. Yeah, Mr. Blob says, ask what language. So I should say that if there's any experienced C# programmers out there, you are now warned that I wrote my first line of C# yesterday. But I still want to show you how far I got, and then we can have a look at it. And while I do that, I can also kind of show you what the idea behind this project is. So let me get this over to the main monitor. Python, yeah, could use Python, but then I get into the deployment issues that then people need to have Python installed, because you can't, as far as I know, at least compile Python code into some kind of executable. But as you can see here, project folder here, it is a what's it called, Visual Studio. And the good thing about this is that that this thing can compile the whole thing into an exe file. So I can just distribute the exe file, and if people want the whole like assembled code, they can do that. Okay, you can turn Python into exe, fair enough. But I did it in C# because I wanted to learn C# anyway. So let's get this project up and running, and I'll show you what this thing can do so far. Takes a while to load. Okay, so here we have the basic form. Very nice, like graphical. You can drag and drop stuff. It's so fancy. Anyway, the idea is you know when we have the new FSS scanner, there's this basically this frequency thingy at the bottom where you can try to adjust it, and you have this small like circle in the corner that kind of changes color based on what type of planet it is. And I thought, you know what, it's actually quite annoying. What I would really like to do is to have a bar displayed over the frequency with the different colors, so I could see in this frequency range that's a Earth-like, and this frequency range is a water world, and this is an ammonia world, and this is kind of have those colors there, so I could just at a glance see exactly what is there. So I wanted an overlay. I want to create an overlay for Elite that you could put over, that would be highlighted over the game while you're playing it when you go into FSS mode. That would show you these different frequency bands, what they are. So you don't have to, because what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the text below. You know what? We should actually boot up. We should probably boot up the game here, just so we can, so I can show you what I mean. So my idea was to make this overlay, and what I got so far, and like I said, I started on this yesterday, and I think I actually got quite far. There's still a lot missing. So you can see here we have the form that's now running, and the idea is we can open up an overlay, and you can see I have an overlay that now opens up here in the corner. Yes, it's transparent, it's a little dark, there's a lot of stuff regarding this that I need to work with so that the colors are more clear. It's because I've used some transparency filters that's not really working as I want them to. But I can open and close this overlay, and you can see that even though I have this window highlighted, this will always be on top. So this will go on top, even if, in theory, if I open up the Elite here, don't bother about this bar here. That will be removed. It's easy to remove. But you can kind of see the idea that I can overlay an image. Come on. There we go. I can overlay an image on the game while playing it. That's kind of the idea that I wanted to go and do. Yeah, let's get back out to here. Okay, and as you can see, I can take this tool and I can now open and close this overlay, and I can also assign hotkeys for it. So I can use hotkeys to open and close, and you can also use the same hotkey, so you can just sit and open and close it extremely quickly if you wish to. There is a lot of stuff missing here. For instance, I don't have modify key support. That means something like control. So that's control. I don't know why that shows up like that. I don't have support for multiple keys at right now, and it doesn't support, you can see if I try to set a hotkey on my HOTAS, it doesn't, sitting here clicking all the buttons on my HOTAS right now, it doesn't support that right now. But that is to come later on. They'll try to add support for, first of all, multiple keys, so you can do like Control, Alt, whatever, Shift, all that stuff, and also add support for controllers and joysticks and all that kind of stuff. And this is kind of how far I am right now, and we can open and close this overlay. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And what I've been working on lately is this overlay form, which is the form that opens up here in the corner. Can I zoom in here? Oh yeah, I can. Make it more easily readable for people on stream. And you can see what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to quickly run you down the whole idea of what I'm doing here, so you know what I'll be working on tonight. This is the code that runs that small overlay you saw here in the corner. We can see here the first thing I do is I collect what's known as the screen bounds. The screen bounds are the area on the screen. Let's say you have a window. If say I wanted this window, if I took this window bounce now, I will get the where on the screen it is, right? So I would get, it is this corner, and from this corner it has a rectangle of this size, right? So I can get that. But now I get it for the whole screen. Basically, see, I want the screen resolution. I use that to calculate the height, the width, and the overlay position. Right now I'm just halving it, both the start position and also the width, meaning it will just be in this quarter down here in the lower right hand quarter of the screen. And that's just for testing purposes. And then I take this means that this is the current form, which is the overlay form, and I set that bounds to whatever I just calculated. And then I also take the picture box, because you can see here, I just have a picture box in here, which I then make sure that I stretch to the same size so it fills out the whole form. So you can see this one is basically just being stretched out so it feels like that. But again, since this one is stretched based on screen size, I just stretch this afterwards. Quite a neat little tool. But I just actually want to change that background thing because it didn't work out as well as I've hoped. But it worked better with other colors than black. So I'm probably going to go back to... I think I used cyan dark cyan. Yeah, that was the one I used. Then we go down here at the bottom and we take the transparency color and set that to the same. There we go. Okay. I'll save that. Okay. Let me get my HOTAS out here so we can actually get this thing into space, because I need a ton of screenshots now so we can begin building the overlay. So let's go ahead and do that. Wow, this is very blue. This is interesting. You see, the light in the hangar is also affected by the light of the star. Everything here is so blue, and it is blue because I am in Maya, which of course is a system with a neutron star, or at least a very blue star. I can't remember if it's actually a neutron star, if it's just very blue. Mad Dog, hello and welcome. Okay, let's get this thing into Super Cruise so we can... do I have anything in my cargo hold? I don't think I have. Don't hope so, because I want to be sitting in Super Cruise for quite a while here. Okay, let's head into... What's going on? Come on. Maybe I need to set up a new fire group for FSS scanners. Okay, so clearly some of the key bindings was mode switch. So, oh, okay. So night vision has been unbound. Fair enough. Interface mode. Is it on the spectrum scanner? No, I want... where did they put that? Mode switches. UI focus. Can anyone remember where they have this shortcut or the settings for entering and entering in and out of combat mode? Is it interface mode? Probably. UI panel up, left, right, back. UI nested toggle. Previous tab, next tab, previous tab. Where the hell did they put... I am on the beta server, right? Definitely am. Where the hell did they put... Because they unbound my key bindings. It's not under cooling. Interface mode. I would guess it would be under interface mode, but... Okay, any of you guys remember where they put those settings for entering or exiting? Oh, there we go. Switch hot mode. Here it is. So now I should be able to... Yeah, here we go. Okay. And of course also need to set the options for actually entering FSS mode, because they also cleared that in the last update. Enter FSS mode. Tuning. You know what? I'm going to take this axis instead. Enter camera pitch. Camera yaw. Zoom into target. Zoom out. Enter FSS mode and leave FSS mode, yeah. Hold on, did that the wrong order. That is enter. Oh, can you have that? Oh, we can now bind this to the same key. Thank you, Frontier. Thank you very much. That was nice. Okay, I think we have the keys we need now. Yes, I am very much aware how FSS mode works. Okay, so there's nothing here really to scan, it seems. Or is it because we haven't descanned the system, maybe? I think it was. Yes, so now we have this. So my plan was to have some kind of infograph that would go kind of I can't show it with a mouse, but I'll show you. We'll take some screenshots of this. But basically, you can see here we have signal sources. Have asteroids, high metal content. You can see how that small blob there changes color. Ammonia worlds, water worlds, gas giants. And all this is gas giants. Okay. So I'm just going to begin taking screenshots here. So this is where signal sources start. And signal sources go all the way... Oh. There it stops. And there we have another type of signal source that starts. And it goes... Oh. There. That's where it stops. Then we should have something that starts... There. That's where asteroid clusters starts. There we have asteroid clusters end. We have metal-rich planets starting here. and high metal content worlds. I know this is not the most exciting stuff to look at, but hopefully it'll be more exciting in a little bit. Oh, hold on. High metal content, stop. Changes there. Where it changes to, to Rocky Bodies. Come on. Icy bodies. Oh. There. Damn it, there were more screenshots here than I thought there would be. There we have Waterworld starting. And it should be gas giants the rest of the way. Actually, not all the way. There. Oh, a little bit further. There. All the messages I get, that's every time I take a screenshot. Because I'm using a tool called it's called light shot. Basically means I can, when I take a screenshot, I get the opportunity to take a small section out. I don't think it's going to show up on, I don't think this shows up on stream at all. But basically, if I take a screenshot, I get the option to like highlight the part of the screen that I want, and I can automatically add a little bit of effects to it if I want. So I don't have to do that much in post. It just makes it a lot easier to take screenshots. Okay, I think that was all we needed for in terms of screenshots. So we'll just create a folder here for let's call this temp overlay, because we're just going to use this folder to create the overlay image that we'll need later on. So let's go here, let's grab all those pictures there and put them in there. Great. And now begins the painstaking work of building ourselves a there we go. Okay, let me just quickly try to get this somewhat ordered. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this. But I'm guessing I would start by just building an overlay on top of this and then figure out exactly what I want to do with it. I can't figure out, so my idea was originally to, if we take, disable some of these here. So let's say that we have one of these in there close to the big peak, like that. My idea originally was to have a bar just going like so, or something like that, with the colors. What? But the problem is, as you might have noticed when we took all the screenshots, is as you can see here as we scroll through these screenshots, that the colors, see this one has like a symbol on its own. This one has a similar symbol but with a different marking. This one is white. This one is kind of gray. So is this one. This one is one color, and some of them have the same colors. I was really hoping that they all had different colors, but they don't. So I have to put in some kind of text, I think. But since we do not really have... Okay, so I've been testing out transparency with this, and it's not working as well as I've hoped it would. So I'm considering instead putting it down here. So somewhere, something like that. And then having the names listed underneath here so we can see what it is. Maybe even like have them here on a line or something like that. So that was something along those lines that I had in mind that I wanted to do. You know what? I think we're actually going to do that. We're just going to create one called bar. I'm going to put that up there all the way at the top, and we're starting by coloring this in with black. Boom. Okay. So now it's just a question of slowly, surely, beginning to color this in. And we need to figure out which colors we want to use. So what do we do with this? Should we just choose a color for signal sources? Do we put small vertical lines? I mean, I could go and like grab that color there. Like that. And then simply just color this in the color we need. So from there, go up to this one. No, hold on, this is not working. This is not working. I need to go to this one and select that, and make that into a new layer, and then delete this layer, because then this layer is, then this layer is not that big. Let's go do this again. I'm gonna put in a selection here, take plenty, like so, and fill that in there. So this one's kind of, this is actually where it ends. Okay. So that means that we need a new selection. Starting there. We'll have to fill that in with black. I think this is where I'm going to start. It's basically just coloring all this in, and then I'll do maybe some feathering at the edges later on. And so we can now close that and make another selection. Like here. And this is kind of the same color, just an exclamation mark instead. So I think I'm just going to color this the same color for now. We can always change that later. That's easy to change later. We can disable that. Oh, I almost hit it actually, where we wanted to. I have it here so we can do this a little faster. Color that in there. Now we have, what is this? Scroll out here. These are asteroid clusters, so this will have to be colored in white. And we'll have to color it in from there to there. And we color this white. So where do we move to next? Now we get something that's kind of gray. which is starting here. See, all of these have the same color. So we'll have to find a way to split that up somehow later on. But this is where it really shows that I'm not a graphical designer. Okay, let's move on. What do we get then? Icy. No, hold on. Oh yeah, we have icy bodies here in this area. Like so. Problem is, I think they used the same colors we did out here before. Because if I take that color, guess it's pretty much identical. Yeah, it's the same. I hope all these have different colors, but they didn't. Let's change this color as well to that green color there. They're really using very vibrant colors. You know, it's all like pure green or pure... That's actually quite interesting. So how far do the Earth lights go? It's actually a very narrow band, the Earth lights. I really hope, I think I haven't considered. I really hope that they, that these areas don't change based on the system. I actually never checked that. Okay, so if they change anything for the live update, then all I have to do is just go in and make this small change again. I mean, they have to remake this image, which isn't too much. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, I would love if I didn't have to, but if I have to, it's not the end of the world. And it doesn't matter if this is not too pretty or too informative just yet. I will figure that out later on. Right now, it is just basic testing, and I'll figure out what to do with it later. Right, so this is Water Worlds. No. Where did Water Worlds go? Oh, here we go. This is Water Worlds. Here we go. Grab that color, which is, well, when you look at that, almost pure blue. Not quite. There we go. And we're almost there now. Like so. All the way to there. And I managed to get, see, that's the small notification they get when I take a screenshot. To grab that color there. And color that in there. Okay. Just save this. So this is kind of the overlay that that I'll be spending time just testing out for now. Can I delete those? Yes, I can. Probably shouldn't do that yet. Problem is I want to reduce the size, and I don't know how I image fit canvas to layer. No. Canvas size. Ooh. Start by resizing it like that. Hopefully it makes this a little bit easier. What did I do? It went image, canvas size. Oh, and again, layer, image, canvas size. Wood said, send it to me if you want it spiced up. Yeah, sure. Right now I just need it to be to test this out to see that it works, and then I'll figure out to get this thing spiced up later on. So something like that. Oh. No, smaller. Okay. Almost there. Should we make it? We can make it smaller, can't we? We should. This is just not the easiest way to work. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna call that there and say for now, again, more prettification will be done later, so we have this looking better. But for now, we'll save this, and I'll export this as overlay PNG. There we go. Okay. And I managed to close down, I think. Yeah, I did. Great. So just for testing purposes, let's see here, temp overlay, and here should have the overlay PNG. We'll move that into the elements folder. And then we'll change this one here. We have logo alpha. Well, fair enough. Gonna have that imported there. Like so. And you can see this one is basically stretching itself out as it should. Good. See, this is going to be an issue, right? Because I want that to fit just... Should I, considering what I should do about if I should do this manually, but I probably should. Because now the whole trick is, now we need to begin to alter this. I need to figure out how do I convert a how do I convert it back to an integer? Because now I'm going to begin to put in decimal places here, and it's probably not going to be an integer anymore. To int, is that a thing? So I should be able to do something like this. So I'm passing this as an integer, because we need this to be integers. And these are all the parameters that control the size and location of our overlay. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't like that. Why did it like that? Cannot convert from int to string. Okay. Oh no, don't do that. What happens if I do decimal points here then? Cannot implicitly convert type double to int. An explicit conversion exists. Are you missing a cast? Yes, I probably am. So this is becoming a double. So I need to figure out how do I convert doubles to int. Again, learned this yesterday. So C# double to int. Converting double to int. Let me just put this over here so you guys can, whoops, can see it too. There's no secrets here. Thank you, Stack Overflow. So it says here you can use a cast if you want the default truncate towards 0 behavior. Alternative, you might, okay. But I don't want do I want to truncate towards 0? No, I want a round. I want a method round. Do int screen blah 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 blah. Is that simple? Really? So you're saying all I do is I go int. Oh. It accepted it, so that seems to be it. Thank you, Tony. We'll just do that then. I mean, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Okay, this is the normal C way, but I guess Twitch chat not working. Okay, I can see Twitch chat, and it's also showing up on. It will round up and down. Yeah, that's perfect. It'll go to the closest, so that's perfect. So the first thing I guess we have to do is to. Oh, shit. Yes. What? I guess you're not. You don't agree. Okay. What do we do first? Should we start by trying to get the size of this right? I guess if we go high, it should probably have a fairly high factor. Let's start by putting in 10. This one is, let's keep that at 2 for now. Position. Starting position is probably, so it's more than halfway down. So if we divide this by 1, right, then we're starting all the way to, that's too low. So let's put 1.1 maybe. And same here, 1.1 maybe. I don't know. Did it boot? Oh yeah, there we go. Show overlay. Okay, so that's clearly way off. Size, I mean, if I move this, I can move this manually. Size is not too terrible. I mean, I kind of got the dimensions right, I think. I mean, if we put this in here to elite, it's too big, definitely. So it will need to be shorter. Definitely needs to be shorter. So let's start by making it shorter. And let's close that. And let's close the form here. Okay, so that means that the layer width should be shorter. So let's put down like 2.5 here. Oops. 2.5. 0.5, thank you. Darky says, do I think it's fun? Of course I think it's fun. Okay, there's a YouTuber apparently who does this kind of thing. Or does tutorials for C#, I guess. Okay. I just want to try and get the size approximately right to start with. You know what? It's not too far off. I mean, let's try to... Gas giants. It's a little bit too small. See? A little bit too small. So let's make it a little bigger. So let's go 2.25 maybe. And again, I'll remove the top bar, but right now it's just very easy that I can actually grab the top bar and position this manually. And the top bar will, of course, be removed once this is actually done. So we can see when we move, oops, get back into the game, move out there, move down here. Oh, it's still too, now it's too. It will not be the final version will not be overlaid by hand. I'll do this manually. I'll do it manually now, but the final version will definitely be... Okay, so now it's too big, right? Yeah, because this one's too long now. So it's too big. So let's go like 0.4 there. Let's try that. Let's get this in here. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it's closed now. Yes, but I know that's going to be an interesting thing when it comes to people having other resolutions and stuff like that. So it's still a little bit too big. But that's why I'm doing it as a fraction of the full screen size, and I'm hoping that means it will scale fairly well. Okay, so it was a little bit too big, so we need to go like point like that or something. And I know it, I don't want to like completely fine tune it now. I just want to get a, like basically I want to have a proof of concept. Because again, this image will have to be changed. There's a lot of stuff that will need to be changed here. So let's get that there. Can you make it adjust? Yeah, it is already adjusting automatically to the resolution. I'll show you guys in a bit here. So I move this and... Oh, that's so close though. Because you can see here, what I do here is I take the screen, primary screen bound. So I take, this is basically giving me information about the size of the main screen. And it's based on the screen bounds that I calculate where the size of the size of the overlay here. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna publish this. Exactly where I'm publishing it, I don't know, but this is definitely gonna be published somewhere. So it was still a little bit too big. I think if we go 4:4, it's gonna be too small. But let's see. Open this up. Let's get elite. That's when it goes into water worlds right there. Oh, is that it? I think it's there. So here it's blue. Going into the gray. Yeah, you're right. I could sit down and work out the ratio exactly. Okay. Nice. So, oh no, that's not, I'm not closing the game. I'm closing this down. So now we got that pretty much where we want it to be. And what if people, so as Dr. Law said, if people have used the secondary screen for Elite instead of the primary screen, I will have to figure that out. Maybe I'll do some kind of, where's the main thing? Maybe I'll do some kind of menu or a screen selection here so we can see which screens it goes on to or something like that. Okay, the height here though, I'm not sure what happens. I'm just going to test here what happens if we go like 20. Because then I think this will become too small. Yeah, you can see that's not going to work out for us. But luckily we can test this fairly quickly. Just do a binary search. 15. 15's too little. Let's go 12. There, that gives us the whole thing. So next up, we need to figure out, so we are both, hold on, let me think here. The position is too big, so they need to be smaller. So let's go, oh, this needs to be, hold on, the width needs to be very small actually. Let's go 5. Oh, hold on, it's still running. Let's kill this. This one should probably be like 5, and this one needs to go up a little bit, so let's go back to 2. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's actually, I mean, okay, we're a little bit high, but okay, so the width, we overdid that a little bit. Let's turn that down to 4. And this one needs to be smaller, so let's go back to, 0.5 was too much. So let's go 0.6 maybe. Oh, that's close. See, we're getting there. We still need to move a little further. So we still need to move it. The 3, let's make this 7. Okay, so now that was the width that was too much on the width. So just work on the width right now. So 4, so 3.5. Wait, so if I make this bigger, it moves up. It should be smaller. Should we go back 0.3? Hold on. Let me try this. I should just go 0.2 maybe. What is the exploration overlay and why can't I have it on console? Yeah, I know. Oh, that's damn close. That is damn close. Let's get the height right, because we're so close on the height now, and then we can do the fine tuning on the position there. So let's get the height. That needs to be a 2.5. Okay, kill that. 2.5 maybe. Oh, no, like that. That should move it up. It did, but not enough. It's 0.3, is that way off? No. That's bloody close. So like 3.3 maybe? Well, there we go. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, maybe actually not. It's covering some of it up. Hold on. Was I actually good before? Oh. Stop that. And start that. We actually need to move it down a little bit so we can see the filtered spectrum analysis text. Because I don't want to cover that. So I actually need to go like to... keep forgetting to terminate the main thing here. Let's go like 2.9. There. I like it there. Will the user be able to change the colors on the graph later? Maybe, yeah. I don't see why not. That should, in theory, be doable. But again, what I'm working on right now is basically the minimal viable product. So MVP. Just making it work, like doing a test to see if this actually works. And once we have a working prototype, then we can begin to add features. But the first feature I'll be working on to start with is the main feature I'll be working on to start with is getting support in for HOTAS and for multiple keys at the same time as the hotkeys, so you can bind it to your HOTAS. Then we'll work on the colors and all the making this graph look more pretty later on. But now I have the height. Now we just need to move this. Right? I think. You know what? It might actually be pretty good where it is right now. I think this. You know what? For MVP, I'll keep it here. This works for me. So now we just need to go into this form here, and we'll need to change the border style to none, like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of room for improvements here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bind some keys here. We're going to use A to open and S to close, just to have some keys there. And I'm going to try to put this off screen here, so you guys probably can't see the tool itself. But so now I'm here in Elite, and I'm flying around, and I say, okay, I want to explore a bit. So we're going to throttle down, open FSS mode, and to open the overlay, which is now in a completely different position than it was before. Why is that? Why did it move? Fuck me. I moved the so I moved the header. Oh my god. I removed the border, and it is, so when it had the fixed 3D border, it did it on that corner there, but when I removed the border, it moved up. Well, damn. Okay. So that means that the height needs to now be a bigger number. So this needs to be smaller. Let's go down to 0.5, and this needs to move in a little bit. So this number needs to be bigger. So let's go like 4.7. There go all my beautiful alignments here. Oh, I got the height right. But I don't think the... Oh, it's not too far off. It needs to move in a little bit. So the width needs to move. The width needs to be bigger. So this needs to be a smaller number. Let's go like 6.5 or something like that. Schoolboy error. Hey, you need to remember, I'm not I'm not a front-end developer. I do back-end stuff. All this sorry, all this GUI stuff is very new to me. Let's open up the overlay. I think that's pretty good. And yeah, as Dunkelor said, to be fair, I wrote my first line of C# yesterday. But you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. This makes it a lot easier. If I had this overlay open, I could now easily spot and see, okay, we have some signal sources. Here we have more signal sources. This area, this is icy planets. We have no Earth likes. We have no water worlds, no ammonia worlds, and we have a few gas giants out here. GUI, GU, graphical user interface. Yeah. Right, so I could, and there's also another feature that I want. As you might have noticed, every time I close the program, I have to set my hotkeys again. I wanted to be able to save that kind of information somewhere. So that's some stuff that needs to be, you know what, I'll make a feature, like a to-do kind of thing here. Let's just make a small text document to myself called to-do. We need whoa. Wow, I can't spell the HOTAS support. It closed my overlay when I typed the A. We need multi-key support. And C# has a built-in... I did notice that, Tony, that there is some kind of built-in settings thingy. I'll just have to figure out how it works. Because I just scrolled around and I noticed there was some things there, but I'll have to look at that later. Then multi-key support. What else do we need? We need what's next on our list? That would probably be persistent settings. Then I will probably go a user offset, so that you had the opportunity to go in and let's say that you didn't like hold on, where's my overlay thingy? Have I set this up? There we go. Let's say you didn't like it as it was right where it is. I mean, you wanted it to be either higher up or lower down, or maybe you want to do some adjustments based on your screen. Dongle over as why 2 keys and not just one as toggle? Well, you can use as a toggle. As you can see here, you set the same key as open and close, and it works as a toggle key. But the reason why I did 2 keys was because that's the way it is in the game. If we go in, we have 2 different keys for here, FSS scanner. We have one to enter FSS mode, and we have one to leave FSS mode. And if people want to have 2 different keys bound to this, my idea was that you would bind the keys to open and close the overlay to the same keys you would use to enter and leave FSS mode, right? So that's why I've decided to do it as 2 separate keys and not just one. And again, there's nothing to prevent you from just doing one key and then using it as a toggle. As it is right now, you can see I can sit here, just hold the key down and toggle it further. One thing I should actually keep an eye on here is... Okay, we can see here we are using about 28 megabytes of memory. And this down here is the CPU resources that we're using. So yeah, as you can see here now when I'm running at full speed here, we're barely using any you can't see the CPU resources because it's behind the camera. Wonderful. I'll just put it over here. Here you can see it. See, we're using about 28 megs of memory, and we're using not noticeable, I mean, that's nothing, basically, in terms of CPU usage. So there's nothing there, even for the key hooks and stuff like that. Yes, that is correct, as Jeff said, that FSS can now be bound to the same key, but people still have the opportunity to not do that. They can bound it to different keys if they want to. So I'm also going to give people the option to bind the open and closing of this to different keys. So if I go into game here, and I were to close the FSS mode, and then I will probably close that. And we're flying around, and now, we want to go exploring, so we're going to toggle on overlay, and we can see, oh, nothing interesting here. So... And even though, yes, you would probably still be using separate keys, you would probably still be using different keys, or you... No, let me try again. You would probably end up using the same key for opening and closing. Because it makes no sense. Why would you have separate keys for that? For opening and closing your FSS. But you can. So, we're also going to give people the option to do it in the tool. Just so there's no one like complaining about that, at least. Just going to try to go to a new system here. Let's see. I mean, it's not a lot, it's just a small bar that we have here. And as I said, this is just a placeholder right now. There will be hopefully something that looks a little more pretty. Maybe we'll make it look like it's glowing a little bit or something like that. So, new system, blah, blah, blah. We're scanning the system. We're going to throttle down, enter FSS mode, and turn on our scanner. And, look at that. We have a water world here. We actually have 2 water worlds, it seems. There's one there, inside our blue field. And this one, if this is correct, then this should be a water world too. and it is somewhere in here. No, that's not it. It has 1 on the outer one and 2 on the other ones. Where is that water world? 2. Nope, that's not it either. Oh. There it is. Sindra asks, just got here, 29 by 9 ultra wide support. Like, is this supported? No, it's not supported as, it's not done as pixel. It's done as a ratio of the screen. I might now we found this water world, and it was a water world as our small overlay here predicted. But no, I'll just quickly show you again. It is done. Whoops. Here we go. It is right now. It's close that. It's done as a fraction of the screen resolution. I'm not sure how this is going to translate to ultra wide, but I'll definitely have to have a look at that. I'll set my own computer into ultra wide mode and then try to test it on that, just to see what happens and if it still positions it right. If not, what I will probably have to do is I will have to do a set of settings for the 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and then I'll have some settings for 21 by 9 aspect ratio. So depending on what the screen resolution is, it will then probably do it right, I hope. I'll also have to try and test this, what happens if I downscale my resolution to 1080p. I'm running on a 1440p monitor right now, so I'll see what happens if I downscale this. But I think actually that so far this is not, it's not half bad. Jeff just joined us. What is this colored bar? So you can see here, I can open and close this colored bar, and it basically shows me where the different. So we can see it's orange here because that's where the gas giants are. Then we have something here, and this is blue because it's water worlds. Then we have ammonia worlds there, and we have earth likes there, and asteroid fields is in this area here. And we have 2 types of signal sources out here. And again, there's something is definitely not right. You can see it goes out and beyond the bar. So I guess if we look at it down here, I see it's a little off. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's a little bit too big, I think. Or something at least is not 100% right. Let's see about this edge here. See, that changes all the way in there. So it's not perfect. But that's just fine-tuning. I'll have to do that later on. And I'm not gonna go and fine-tune it completely now because I want to wait until I have a better looking bar than just all these random colors here. Let me know, guys, in the comments or in the chat now. What do you think? How do you think I should make this look? If we should continue working on the looks of this bar here. I can see the mouse when I move over the over this here. Should I just keep this bar? Should I make it narrower? Like, I could make it even narrower and then make it maybe like it looks like it's glowing or something like that. You know what? I think we will do for the rest of the stream now, or for at least for the next section. I don't know if it's going to be the rest. Boop, 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 boop. I'm actually amazed how easy it was to get started with C#. I mean, again, I started yesterday. This is all done since yesterday. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Transparency is going to be an issue. That's going to be difficult, but oh yeah, you know what? I'll put that on my to-do list. User offset, I'll put that in here. Just put that trans. There we go. I agree, we need some transparency there. But I'll show you why transparency is an issue. Let me just close this and go and close this. Okay. Okay, we have this. We have our temporary here. This is our testing thing. So we're just gonna call this one for overlay test, so we don't screw anything up. Yeah, I thought about that as well, Dongalora. It's a pretty, if I can make the transparency work properly, then I would definitely consider just overlaying it there completely and then have a lower transparency, like 50% or something. But for now, what I want to try here is to take all of these screenshots here, and I have to delete those manually. Are you kidding me? What's the shortcut for these? Oh. Okay. So if I take this, for instance, boom, like so, and I say, yoink, I could make this like very narrow. No, I can't. Delete layer. That one. Boom. And then make this very narrow, like so. Right. Okay, you know what? Instead, let's just play around with the transparency, and I'll show you this later. Let's get back in here. Okay, so here we have the form, right? And problem is the image layer itself. Tony says, look at Michael on GitHub. His game overlay net class. Oh, has a very good. It's very good. It leveraged the DirectX for hardware acceleration and transparency forms. Oh, that's nice. I'll have to look into that because this is going to be a lot easier than having to hard code this myself. Because naturally, it doesn't have any transparency. It has a transparency key, basically an alpha key. But that's about as far as it goes. There is no transparency. Or, oh, well, there's an opacity here. There is an opacity. Internet, you be lying to me. Oh, hold on. Wait, what happens if I change this to 50%? Wait, did they really do that? Did they create so the form has an opacity, but an image box does not? That is stupid. What happens now if I start this now? Wait, that actually worked. Oh, cool. Well, that was easy. Oh, that was actually really, really easy. Hold on. If that's all it takes. Layer. No. Image. Canvas size. 9. 1920 by 1080. Resize. Oh, that didn't go well. Okay, hold on. Okay, thinking. What do we do? No, okay, I'm gonna discard this. I'm gonna discard this completely. And we're gonna take this overlay here, and we're gonna open this. No, we're not. We're gonna take a random image here, and we're gonna open this up with GIMP. Random image, go. You thingy here, go. Go in there. And we're gonna position you like there. And then we're gonna stretch you like so. There we go. And should we try to add a little bit of a glow effect on this? Now we're just playing around, because this might actually be even better if we could do something like this. So I'm just gonna pick that color there, and I'm going to grow this by, I don't know, 20 pixels. No, that's too much. Select, let's grow it by 5. Just want a slight glow. And then we're gonna feather it by 10 pixels. And we're gonna get this tool, and we're gonna get a color there. I'm gonna go to the glow, and we're gonna fill that in. Boom. See, that was not feathered enough. So select, feather. A lot more feathering. See, like that. Just so it has this shimmer around it, right? You can see if I move this picture here. And the idea is that I'll anchor these two layers. So these will be one layer at the end. So if I put both of these at 50%, we'll do that later. Just do a few more here, just as a test. That actually looked pretty good. I really like that. Right, so we go. Take that and grow that and feather it and change the color to blue and bucket and glow and boop. Oh, that didn't work. Grow this a little bit more maybe, because it's so tiny. And then the gray ones we're not going to do anything with. I'm just going to take one more. Select grow, select feather, color green. Boop. Oops, no, green. Tool, glow. You get these kind of like lights coming out from the different bands. I just want one more. I can do one more. Take that. Select glow. 10. Select feather. 50. Boom. Color. And you glow. Oh! There's some overlapping here that doesn't look good. There we go. I have no idea what happened there. You know what? The orange is kind of a little lagging now. It's not glowing as much as the other ones. So let's just do the orange again. And I'm also afraid that once we begin to transparent this, that its glow is not going to be as apparent as it is right now. So feather this back to orange. Oh, no. I think I need the glows, all the different glows, to be on different layers. Delete. New layer. Okay, that definitely is something I have to do. I have to have all these different glows on different layers, because otherwise they're not gonna, you're gonna get these weird artifacts. But don't like the glow so far. Oh, wait a second, so what happens if we then put this to whoops. That one goes to 50%. That one goes down to 50%. So it's not so, but 50% is not enough. It needs to be lower. See, it needs to be just a... Should it just be like that, actually? Just have this, like, glowing area? Or should it be sharp? I mean, I guess the whole point is it should be sharp edges, right? Let's try to put it down to 25. So something like that, right? And then the glow is not so apparent. It's there. I mean, if I removed it, it definitely looks a lot like... It just give it a little bit of a... Okay, so here's the deal. We need to put this transparency back up to 100, because we have to handle the transparency in the tool. And then I need to figure out what is this resolution of this thingy here, because I need to try and kind of have the same thing as I did before. I'll put this over here on the other screen so I can see it. And I'll go to image. And again, this is not the final design, so if you don't like this, it doesn't mean that this is where it's gonna be. And I'm very open to suggestions if people have anything they feel like would work better or something like that. You are more than welcome to come with suggestions. That didn't work very well, did it? Resize canvas. So the width of 1038 was fairly easy to do. I think I can easily fit that in there. But this one probably needs a little bit more help. Let's make this And I know this means we have to resize everything in the tool again. That's just part of the fun. Okay. Let's call this glow test. Okay. Then I'm gonna find the folder that I apparently closed. Wonderful. Good job. I might do some cosmetic settings as well, so you can turn the glow on and off, maybe. I don't know if I can do something like that. I might be able to. I should be able to, I guess. I could just... Yeah, that should be doable, to make some kind of overlay. So you can turn the glowing effect on and off if you want to. Temp overlays. Yes, we have this glow test here. Gonna put this in here. Delete overlay. Rename this. Delete everywhere. And rename this to overlay PNG. Then now we should have it in here. No? Oh, yes. That we. Oh, wow. Okay. Such a different picture. Okay. This probably means that this is nowhere near where it should be now, because now the picture has a different size and everything. So we'll have to resize everything, but... Oh, that looks... See, this is the problem now. When we have this glowing effect, the chroma key in the background kind of bleeds through. And looks horrible. See, this is an issue, right? That we get this. And I might have to look... Or someone who mentioned that... Damn it. There's someone who mentioned that there was a package or a class you could use. Glow test. So I'm just going to try to completely disable the glowing effect and export that. Like so. Nope, I can't change. So I can set here, I can go here, I can go. It does have, it support transparency. You can see I go here to say it's transparent, but then it says property value not valid. Control does not support transparent background colors. So, well, wonderful. So it's kind of hacked that I kind of used that cyan and then used it as a chroma key later on. You know what? I'll just keep these values because I know these work with the other one. And I don't want to redo them later. Or sit and watch the stream to figure out what the hell I actually typed. So we're going to make a new section down here. Gonna power that thing up. Turn on the overlay. What about set the background color to the same as the... But the problem is the background color is not a solid color. Ah, so you wanted that shade of blue there. Okay, that might be doable to do something like that, but let's just do some very quick adjustments to this. I'm thinking like, you need to make it like twice as wide, so the width needs to be a lot bigger. Or maybe we just need to adjust the height. I think maybe it's just the height that's our issue right now. So I think if I go to here to height, and I go this to, let's just like 1/5 instead, then maybe that alone will help us. See, now it's already bigger. But now it's yeah, definitely bigger. We still need to make it even bigger. I'm not gonna completely fine tune it. I'm just gonna get it kind of in the right ballpark here. So this needs to be bigger. That means this number needs to be smaller. So maybe 2 will be good in this case. I don't know. Let's see where we're at. It's not too far off. Let's try to get this thing moved into position. So our height, we need to move it up. That means our offset needs to be smaller. So this needs to be a bigger number. Let's go to 0.3. And this needs to be moved in. This needs to be a smaller number. So let's go to 3.6. Maybe something like this, just transparency key equals color black. This just transparency. Yeah, I've tried with black as well, but then it gets very dark, the image. Okay, getting there. Need to move it further up and further back. So our start height needs to be a smaller number. This needs to be even bigger. Let's go to this 0.5. This needs to be moved further. Let's go like that. Oh, this might not be too far off. Oh, that was close. That was pretty close. Okay, so we need to height position needs to be moved down. This needs to be bigger numbers. Let's go like 475. And this one still needs to move back. So this still needs to be even smaller number. So this needs to be like 0.9 or something. That is close as well. Okay, so it needs to be moved down a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. This is gonna be very interesting to get this thing aligned up properly. See, the easiest way I could have done it was, and that was the first thing I did consider, was to just have... Can I do that? I was considering just having an image that was a full, like, let's say 1080p image, full HD picture, and just scale that on the screen. So it took up the whole screen. Problem is, if I do that, you can see here, if I click here, see, right now, I don't have focus on Elite. Even if I click here, if I click anywhere here, I don't get focus in on Elite. I have to go and click anywhere outside my form. So that means I wouldn't be able to just click into the game. I would have to tap in. So if I clicked this one, I would have to be forced to tap into the game in order for this to work, which is a bit of it's a bit of annoying that it has to be like that. But I think in general the picture is too big, so I probably need to scale it down a bit. Yeah, Tony, I'll have a look at that at the class you mentioned. I'll just look it up again. It's game 11, and then figure all that out. But for now, I just want this again. Today we're just testing the basics of this, and the transparency here is not enough. You can see it's still it's too difficult to see what's going on behind it. I'm just gonna fiddle a little bit with this again. So maybe the width is, I think it is too long. It needs to be smaller, so like 1.9 or something. And we also need to move this down. So there needs to be an even bigger number. Bigger number means this needs to be smaller, like 0.4 or 0.25, something like that. And it also needs to be moving. Which way did it need to move? I can't remember now. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you, Dongalora. Posted a link for the class on Discord. Almost there. Width needs to be. The width needs to be squeezed. So the width needs to be smaller. So this needs to be a bigger number. 2.2. Let's try that. That might have been too much. Maybe. Yeah, it's definitely too short now because it needs to go all the way up there. So it needs to be longer now. So making this longer, like 0.1 there, I think. And we still need to move this downwards a little bit. This number still needs to be bigger, so like 7.1 or something like that. Oh. That's actually pretty good. It's still a little short. Needs to be moved back a little bit. So this needs to be a smaller number. This needs to be bigger. So we just go like 4 here. .05, almost there now. And again, I have to find a better way to tweak this, I guess. It's probably not. Oh, perfect. So now we can adjust the length, I guess. So make this a tiny bit longer. Width needs to be bigger. So this needs to be a smaller number. Oh, let's stop this. Okay, so 0.1 was too little, so it's like 0.5. I think that's perfect. Now we just need to adjust it to move it down a little bit. And then we're pretty much there. So this one needs to be bigger, this needs to be smaller, so we go like 6.9. Close but no cigar. 6.7. Okay, I can go a little faster, I think. Let's just go 6.4. Oh, that is close. I think if we go 6-1, whoops, we're pretty much there. Okay, I'm just gonna go 6-0. I think that's gonna be close enough. And should we just adjust the transparency even further? So we wanted this down to like 25%. Like so. Okay, let's try this. Just gonna set hotkeys here. That's not half bad. I kind of like this design better, where it goes over and is transparent like this. We get this out of the way so I can see. I think this looks, I mean, it almost looks like it's meant to be there. Right? And the glowing effect, I don't think we need that. I think this is a lot cleaner. Hoping this... Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Lordwall says, I hope Frontier's watching this. Hint, hint. Screenshot this, post it on Twitter and hashtag Frontier. It says, hint, hint. Let's see if they get it. Because this is actually pretty damn neat. I mean, just as it is right now, I would actually consider using this just right as it is right now. This is probably where I want it to be. Now comes the testing with different screen resolutions, and that's going to be a whole different story. See how that scales. I don't want to be trying to fiddle around with screen resolutions live, because I know that OBS does not like when you change your screen resolution. Most people seem to agree that transparency is good, and I definitely agree. Nothing like it might... No, of course not. I mean, come on. I started on this less than 24 hours ago, and I think what I managed to get out of it so far is pretty good. I mean, yeah, there's some colors here that needs to be changed. The fact that these two are the same, I don't know. Okay, I need your input, guys. What should I do to make it a little bit more apparent what is what? I mean, the colors for Earth-likes and stuff like that, the gas giants, the water worlds, and the Earth-likes are pretty self-explanatory, right? Ammonia worlds is the same gray as all these rocky worlds here, right? So we could make up a color like some kind of fart brown, like a shit brown kind of color for the ammonia worlds, because that's kind of the color they always have, like a light one. Could have a little bar at the top explaining what each color is exactly, because there is kind of a little bit of a room here in between the peaks. So if we go over here, there's a little bit room here, and we could put some text there. How about a sidebar index? Use red also, yeah. Because the other issue we have is down... This is fair enough that we have the asteroids in this area here. But we have this area here where we have metal rich and high metal content and rocky bodies all fitted into this narrow band here, or this band here. So we have to color those in different colors to make this work, I think. Oh, this is not going to work for colorblind people, though. No, it's not. But I think colorblind... Okay, if you were colorblind, and let's say we use red for something, then I agree a legend out at the side. If we put some kind of info thing out here on the side, I mean, there's lots of room out here. You can't see my mouse. But there's lots of room out here to the right-hand side where we could easily put a legend. And I agree it wouldn't work for those people, for people who are colorblind. But... they would still know, I mean, colorblind people would still be able to see the difference between this color and this color. They would still be able to see that it's different colors, I guess. Yeah, don't mix red and blue. Okay, here's my point. If I make this area down here red, and this one blue, or this one green, what colors shouldn't mix? Don't. You could animate out a box that changes its name as you tune. So now that's gonna be difficult because, so okay, as Wood says, having a box that changes name based on, we already have that box. That box is down in the right hand corner, so we don't need that box. Frontier's done that for us. And as soon as we need to look at where the tuning wheel is, then we're beginning to have to read from the Elite Dangerous files, which makes this a lot more complicated. Blue, okay. Don't mix red. Red, yeah, okay. But my point is, let's see, this is blue, obviously. So it's fine that we have blue here if we have red down here, for instance, for signal sources. Because it doesn't matter if it looks the same color to colorblind people. If they just know that this area down here is signal sources, this is some other. Either we could do it purely by color coding, but the other option is to have a legend somewhere underneath. I'm thinking, where's my mouse here? Like down here in this area here, oh, can you guys see this on screen? Yes, you can. Like down here, I could have saying the name of the different types. Maybe have them like on a we could have them on like on a diagonal. So it says the name here, like asteroid fields and the different types of planets here. They could be standing. It could be a text down here, and we could try to match the colors for this, so it kind of looks the same. Yeah, exactly as Lordwell says. If the signals are red, it doesn't matter. And I would make both of these. I like the fact that the ice worlds, we both have ice worlds and rocky worlds here, which is, I want those to be spread up. So we need to split up this whole area into smaller sections. Rockies are brown. Yeah, exactly. So we could take... So we have white here for the asteroid clusters. I guess we're going to keep that. So the metal rich, we could make that kind of a gold color. High metal content. Let's make that maybe bronze. Rocky, we make that brown. Bronze, brown next to each other. Maybe that's not a good idea. If we make this like a dark brown and a bronze, and then over here we could make this a lighter color, like a light brown, and a dark brown for the Rockies. Ice planets, I want to keep this color. Ice Rockies, maybe we do it in a slightly different tone. Yellow for ammonia worlds, yeah, yellow. Because I want to try and have the colors that line up next to each other have a very distinct color difference. Silver and gold and brown. Yeah, down here, right? So we have gold for metal rich. High metal content is silver. This kind of works, I think. I think this should this should be pretty good. Gas giants could also be purple and then use some orange. Yeah, the reason why I want to keep the gas giants is because you can see this already has this color down here in the corner, in the right hand corner. And I kind of want to keep those colors matched. That's why I kept the blue there and the orange there and the green here. Just to keep those colors matched. To make it look as natural as possible. But the ones that all has the same color, where Frontier kind of said, meh, just put gray in there. I kind of want to do something there to make it a little bit more. But you know what? We have this. We have access to this, to the image file for this, right? Just look at that. I really like this. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna close this, and we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna go in here, and this is, that's the one we call glow test, even though we're not really doing anything glowing anymore. Okay, this area, is there a little bit of a shimmer there? It's a little bit. Okay, this area here is ammonia. So which color are ammonia wheels? They're kind of a, like this kind of yellow, kind of like that. That's almost gold, actually. Should we just make them bright yellow? And I know this is now bigger than the others because we've done a lot of... That doesn't matter now. This is not the final. I'll do a proper one for the final. So don't bother about that right now. I'll fix that later. Then we have all the ice worlds here. Mustard. Yeah, kind of a mustard kind of color, right? So it should be... Oh, no. So like that, maybe. I think this is pretty good. It's still different from the orange. Maybe a little bit brighter, actually. There. That one, for instance. That looks good. And then this one. We'll color, let's just say what we think, bright red. Like so. Those would be signal sources. And then we kind of do, I can't remember exactly where it is, but again, just testing now. Red alert, yeah, exactly. Should we do something that's not that bright, maybe? But this one here, kind of want to take this color and then maybe go a little bit on the darker side, because it's more rocks. Something like that. Exactly, gradient. It looks very bright right now, but when we put it into the tool, it's gonna look a lot less bright. And again, here, we're not doing this exactly, so we have the... Nope, not that one. That one. We have the high metal content, which is that one there, and we're gonna make that kind of a gold color. And then we have the... This is high metal content. No. This was metal rich. This is high metal content. So this should be like a silvery color. Maybe do a light gray. And then make this one kind of a brown. A dark brown, like something like that. Red is too bright. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree. Let's make it not darker, but not pink. Maybe we should make it darker. So how does this look at... See, now the red is kind of... It actually needs to be brighter, right? These works okay, I think. But I actually don't think it's... I agree that this looks, when we have it in here, it looks a little too much when it's this bright. But I think when we add the transparency, that it's okay. See, then it's not so bad when we add the transparency. That actually looks okay, I think. Create a border in the same color. Blue. Ah. Yeah, okay, I could do that. But I kind of want to keep it so that it looks like it's a natural part of the spectrum. I think I agree that the border would be too much clutter. Make the blue for the water walls a little lighter. What are the empty rooms with no color? That's where there's nothing. Okay, lots and lots of fine-tuning that will have to be done. But for now, let's just run with this for a test. Oh, hold on. Let's just disable that. Put transparency back to 100. There we go. And rename this to overlay. And no. Okay, never mind. I'll do it the other way again. Elements. Rename. No, hold on. Delete. Rename. Yes. Let's begin. Boom. All the colors. Let's run a test. Just gonna quickly set some hotkeys. And I know that these are probably not... How close did we get this? So, high metal rich. I got it spot on. Perfect. Icy bodies. Okay, so this one is a little off. Earth likes ammonia. The ammonia kind of needs to be a brighter yellow, I think, to make it stand out more from the green and the orange. But that is just fine-tuning. I want that red to be lighter. It's definitely too dark, I think. I want that to be a little bit lighter so it's easier to see. It doesn't like disappear that much. But overall, I think we're beginning to get something now that kind of works. Even looks good over the star too. Just get the overlay program in here. You can see as it opens and closes here on the hotkey. I'm definitely liking this. I think this is getting somewhere. But again, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I need to... Next step would be that I make this properly. So I do the final version of this. G asks, is this a mod or part of the update? It's a mod that I've been working on since yesterday. And we're getting there now. You can see here I have this small external tool that kind of runs here in the background. Nordwall says, you just did more work on Elite in an hour than the dev had done in a week. Maybe I should actually write Frontier and ask. I mean, okay, we've seen plenty of other overlay programs for Elite. But yeah, as Donglor said, it's a third-party overlay. Cool. You know what? That will be, I'll do this off camera, but I'll have to like make a prettier version of this. And you can also see if you could, I don't know if you can see this in stream. I don't know how clear that comes out. But there's kind of like, it's a little bit too high, and I need to make sure that the position of this is really good. This is perfect. Bloody perfect. Okay. But I'll have, yeah, there'll be a lot of fine-tuning to do, and then comes the interesting part of testing this out, like what happens when we are on a 21:9 aspect ratio. And I might reach out to some of you guys on Discord just to try and get this beta tested before it goes live. But overall, I think this is definitely getting somewhere, and for just a prototype in 24 hours, I think it's pretty good. I'm liking it. Anyway, enough looking at weird overlay programs and homebrew stuff. Lordwell says you're gonna link this to. I will make sure to post. I'll definitely post it to on Patreon on the Patreon page as soon as I have a version out there. I might even reach out to some of the Patreons for. I'll try to alleviate those as beta testers if people want that. But I might also just reach out to people on Discord if there's some people who shown interest in it. But again, there'll be I'll have to do all the fine tuning now, and I'll do a lot of testing on my own with changing the game resolution and changing my screen resolution and my screen aspect ratio. So I'll do as much testing as I can before this goes live. Yeah. It says that the timer dropped from 41 to 40. Yeah, they have a timeout. You can see if we locate one here, so we can find ourselves a signal source. This one right here. You can see here this one has 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. Right? We can find this more here. There's one there. Non-human. This is all non-human in this area, I guess. Jungle says, can't we stay and watch? You think, okay, it's actually not that late as I thought it would be. What do you guys, should we just continue and keep building this and try to actually build the proper version of this? I mean, we could do that. Okay, you know what? How long? Okay, I've been streaming for over 2 hours, but it's not that late yet. Let's do it. Let's give this a go. Let's build the proper one of these, right? Let's get that. The head is away in the timer. Sorry. Okay. Doesn't matter. That it will die. Oh, now a new signal source popped up. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Okay. Let's try to do a proper version of this. So how are we gonna do this? I'm thinking here, as you can clearly see. Okay, let's do it like this. We're gonna open this up again. And we're gonna build it in full resolution and then try to scale it down again. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to select the area. Yeah, we're going to do some tweaks now. First, we're going to have a selection of the area that we want to work with, so that we can't like color outside the lines. This is basically like in kindergarten. We don't want to color outside the lines. And this should go like there and like there. And then down to this area. No. Like so. So that's the area that we want to work in. You know what? Actually, I want this to be on the inside of the border rather than the outside. I think that would look better. I'll have to scale this anyway, but... So like that. Alex says, don't go to sleep. Tomorrow you'll have to work. Yeah, exactly. And this is not even my job. I'm just doing this for fun. Okay, so now we have our layer here. Yep. We can clear that. Okay. So that's our working layer. That is the one we will be working in. And we'll adjust everything later on. Oh, can I? Oh, can I? Please. Is there some metadata on this layer? Flatten image. Merge visible layers. Layer boundary size. Yes, I can. Beautiful. So I can get the exact size of the layer. Wonderful. Okay, let's drag in all of these. And then let's reorder. Can I select multiple layers? No, I can't. Damn you. Oh, sorry, GIMP. This is not Ultra, this is GIMP. Ooh, hold on. I need something else. I need to drag this one in. And we will drag this up just so we can kind of pick the colors off this one. Because now that we've already selected our colors, we can use this. So, first step would be to get a selection on this layer from kinda... Hold on, is this showing here? Not showing. It is showing, so this one is included. And here it is not included. Do like that. And the color we want was this one, but I wanted it slightly brighter, so I'm just gonna pull it down. A slightly lighter red than what we had before. And we're gonna color that in. Okay. Yes, and we also need bright yellow over here. And we'll do that when we get there. So now we can disable this one. And we can start a new selection. And this one is included. We're gonna start it there. Oh, hold on. Can we? Thank you. And here it is not included. Boom. This one is included. This one is pure white. Oh yeah, I could set my transparency here so I can see, but we can adjust colors later. Let's just get the bands in, and then we'll do a color transparency test thingy a little bit later. And this one, just there to hold on. Okay, good. So there. And this needs to be that color. Boom. This needs to be, oops, that color. And, oh, come on. This needs to be this color. Boop. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, there's a line there. I mean, if we disable this, you can see there's a line, and that's the line we're kind of going to. It looks okay. Okay, and then we can disable that. Moving on. And we're gonna take that layer there, which is have the very, very useful name pasted layer. And we're gonna grab that color there, color that in there. Gonna grab that color there and put that in there. Pop. And wrap. And a bucket. We're getting some speed up here. And here we need to change the color. So this was not, I wanted something brighter here to give a higher contrast. But we're still going to start by picking that color and then just not making it as bright as it want to go. Very bright yellow. And this one needs to be blue, and we discussed if this should be a slightly lighter blue, maybe. Not a lot, but like that maybe. Let's call this overlay. Beautiful. Okay, should we do a quick, we can delete all of these layers now. We should be done with those. So let me just get rid of these layers really quick, apart from one, because that's going to be a test. The red's going to be really light when it's transparent. Let's test that. Let's remove this layer there. Let's take that. Let's put that to 25. That's not that bad, I think. I think the red is pretty good. I like the yellow there. I think it works. Only thing is that one there is a little bit difficult to see. The gold one. I think I want this a little bit, just a tiny bit lighter. High metal content, yeah, exactly. The high metal content, these two was a little, I think it's better now. It's easier to see, but maybe it's because this one is too... Is that okay? Should we make this even brighter? Maybe? Then make this darker, maybe? I definitely think we need some contrasting colors here. I think Lord, you're absolutely right there. Let's go back here. We'd also try to make this darker. Maybe put it all the way down there. And then lighten this a little bit. That's definitely a higher contrast than we had before. Darker didn't work. It's not good that it's dark, but it helped. It shouldn't be dark. It makes it look like, oops, nope. Yeah, people seem to agree that the color go maybe not pure white, but like that. Okay, now that we are playing around and testing, what I want to test is what it would look like if we put labels on this. So we're done with this layer. We can delete that. We can make a new layer. Let's call this labels. I just gonna do one quick test. You know what? It's not gonna be. It's gonna be separate layers anyway. So we put this in Earth-like. We put this in bold. How does this looks like text size-wise? It's kind of the same, isn't it? Maybe 19? Yeah, 19. Okay, and then we need the color, but this is already faded a bit. I think what we need is to actually grab that color there, color the text like that, because there is a slight transparency on this. It's not a lot. So if we put this there, Earth-likes, and we put this transparency to, let's say, 80%. Oh, that's close. 50. Oh, that was a little bit too much, but we're definitely getting there. 75. 60. Oh, look at that. It's pretty much... Apart from that, my letter's a little bit more clearer. Don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's already at the bottom right. Right, you're right. I just want to try at least one, just to see what it looks like. So let's angle this at 45, whoops, 45 degrees. And then move it, whoa. Put labels above, more room. Oh. You know what? I kind of like that, actually. Oh, we need to go higher so that it wouldn't interfere. Oh, nope. I need to go like up here so that it wouldn't interfere. Yeah, we could have a line, as Andrew says, but I'm afraid that when we get into the area where these are, it's gonna be annoying to look at. Let me just put, let me just make one more. Is that ammonia? Is it 2 M's? Ammonia? I can't remember. Yeah, 2 M's. Okay, most people seem to think that this is going to be a little bit overkill. I'm just going to put one more in just to try it. Oh. Ammonia worlds. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be. Problem is, that would have to be there. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't look great. It's not intuitive. Yeah, we could close it. We could make it smaller, so just said Earth-like worlds, ammonia world. But they would still have to be very close unless we increase the angle. So we can get more separation between them. I think I tend to agree that it is a little bit messy. You know what? We are going to delete that and delete that. I think, yeah, we could stack the shorthand letters vertically above, but I still think, problem is, we would have to have them starting all the way up here. Okay, we're gonna try with abbreviations just to see how that works. Then stack them like this. I don't like that. Doesn't look good. I think that what John says is actually right, that maybe Frontier has been through this as well, and they realized it was too much clutter. But I can fix the line spacing. That's not that difficult. Oh, is it that one? No. I thought that was line spacing. Change the baseline of selected text. Okay. That's clearly not working the way it should. Or maybe I'm just not understanding how to... I'm just going to try and angle it, and then angle it a little bit more than we did before. So instead of going 45, let's go 60 maybe. We'll have to put it up here. Yeah, I think this is, no, this is not doing it either for me. I must admit, 60, you can do like that. Yeah, then we could leave a legend out here that kind of shows what the different ones were. Designed by committee, yeah, exactly. Oh, I have rotating these the other way. So minus 180. Nope, that was not what I wanted. Minus 120, yes. I have to agree. It's too cluttered. I think I'd actually like it just to have it with the colors for now. Let's see how it goes. Let's start with just the colors. Let's get that working. And if it turns out that it is that people don't get it or something, we can change that later on down the road. So I think for now, let's keep it with the colors. And now I need a post-it. I need a post-it because I need to get the resolution of this. So here we go. Here we have the resolution. It is 1050 times 49 pixels. So that's good. We can take this layer now and we can increase that brightness to, whoops, to 100% again. And we can get rid of, let's just start by hiding this layer in case we need it again. So now the triggers, now we need this to fit inside a canvas. And that's going to be really interesting. So I guess I'm going to go... How are we going to do this easy? You know what? I'm going to export this to overlay full, because it's a full frame here. And export that. So, we're going to create a new... And we're going to make that in the exact size that we need. Like so. And we're going to delete that background layer there. And then I'm going to pull in the one we just created. And we'll just begin to pull this layer around. Oh, we don't know. Uh-oh. Because I can pull that up like that. But we don't know if it's supposed to be there or there. So... You know what we'll need? We'll need to delete this layer. And we'll need to jump back to this one. And... we will need a... Oh, hold on. No, delete that. New layer. Okay, let's go here. Black. We'll make a black background so we can... Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? No. Ah, we don't need a new layer. Aha. Delete that layer. Go in there. And just take this. Make it black. Paint it black. And then paint that black. And paint that black. There we go. Now we can export that. We can jump back to this layer. We can take this one, which now has the black borders. And then we can pull this up. It's just approximately. And then... So why is this not fitting? Why is this... What? Did I write it down wrong? It's not 150, it's 115. 1-5. So let's take this. Actually, we can go here to layer, image, resize canvas, and this should be 1015 and not 1050. And then we pull in that layer and we pull that up. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Put that there. And it should be right there. And then we go select by color. Take the black. Delete it. A little bit of a black shimmer there at the end. Okay, Lord Wolf, thanks a lot for joining. So we can now save this as overlay. And export this as overlay. And that. So glow test, we can remove that. Overlay test. Okay. Now we can take this one. And it is in elements and replace that in here. Like so. Yeah, no, I think you're fine with the black. I think you were referring to the black shimmer. That's probably fine. I mean, I can barely see it here, but when we get that 25% transparency and we get it in here, whoa! Look at all the signal sources that spawned. Wow! What? What the hell? Scan all the things. It's all the non-human signal sources. That's a lot of Thargoids, though. Look, I'm scanning them, but they keep spawning. I can't keep up. There's 69 of them now. This could be an interesting way to hunt high grades later on. Imagine this. You sit in a system, you open the FSS scanner, you go AFK for half an hour, you come back and look 71. I'm scared. Okay. There's a lot of signal sources in this system. Whatever's around that water world, one thing is for sure, that the Thargoids warned it. Oh, here we go. Encoded. Weapon fire detect. Okay. Okay, let's see. Where were we at? Oh, yeah. Enough with all the signal sources. We are about to try and align this thing up. So, guess there's only one thing to do, and that is launch it. And we can now delete this. We don't need those anymore. Oh, we can't do that now because we have the thing open. Okay, where are we at? Okay, height-wise, we're pretty good. Let's start by getting the length of this kind of right. So we need to squeeze it in so it becomes shorter. Let's start by doing that. So let's get rid of this. And the width needs to be shorter, a lot shorter. So this needs to be a bigger number. So something like 2.5 maybe. Let me get rid of some of all the stuff that we don't need. Okay, lengthwise it's okay. Now we need to push it in, I think. that means that the pulse width needs to be a bigger number, so we're gonna go 3.5 on that and run it again. Need to push it further. Pushing it further, making this bigger. 2. That was too much. Perfect. Okay, you can see here it is slightly too long. It is next to nothing. So needs to be shorter. This number needs to be smaller. So this is like 1. It's still this down here still looks really good. What about up here? It's still slightly, only keep trying to close the game. It's still slightly too much, so let's go this for 2. That is very close. Oh, perfect. So now it should fit all the way down if I did my... Yes, look at that. Oh, thanks a lot for the subscription on YouTube. Oh, look at that. As it did. Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. I need to push it down a little bit. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So now we adjust the height of this height pulse, and it is, so this needs to be slightly bigger. Let's go 7.5. That should push it down a little bit. No, that's the wrong way. It needs to be smaller. So go like 4. That was too much. But not that much too much. So it's too big, so this needs to be a smaller number, this needs to be higher, so let's go like 4, I want to go 5 here. Is that too much the other way then? Oh, that is damn. I think that's spot on. That's where it needs to be. That is it. Let's set some hotkeys here. I am really liking this. There's one last thing I want to do. And that is to go into the form here. To the form. And I just quickly want to disable. And this I might screw up everything now. I should have done that before. I want to disable the transparency because I have a suspicion. Let's close this. Discard changes. I have a suspicion that the box is pretty high. Yeah, you can see how high it is, up and down. So that means it's taking up a lot of space. So we need to. Problem is now we're aiming for this corner, so I need to reduce this in size and then move it down, and that's gonna be interesting because I don't want that much of that around. So we'll have to start by adjusting that. So that means 5 is too little. What about 8? And now it's moving up again, so we'll have to adjust that height again afterwards. 8's not enough. Let's go 15. We can go smaller. 18. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit, but as I said before, you can't click inside it. So I don't want this to be too big. Or you can click inside it, but you can't activate the game when you click inside it. So that's why I just try to trim it down a little bit. Can we go to like 23 without? That's close enough. I like that. Now we just have the problem is we now move this up quite significantly. So we now need to move this down again by making this number even bigger, making this smaller. So let's go to like 3.5. Signal sources are still spawning. So that's not enough, it needs to be smaller. Go down to 0.3, see what that looked like. Oh. Oh. Look at that. Will you look at that? That is beautiful. So all that's left now is to go in here and re-add the transparency key, which is that one there. Start that. Overlay it. Is it slightly too low? I think it's slightly just like a pixel too low. So now we need to move it up. This number needs to be smaller, so it's like 0.5 or 0.1, something like that. No, that's not enough. There's still like one row, and I know this is pretty much just a little overkill, sitting here moving 1 pixel at a time, but oh, that was way, way, way too much. Okay, 0.1 it is. Are you able to use blend modes? Yeah, this is it. This is the one. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, I think that this is gonna be where we're gonna leave this for now. I'm gonna set my order keys here so we can turn the toggle it on off. So just to give you an idea what I envision this as being like, right? Playing around, say, oh, there's a signal source, or we just arrive at a system and we're gonna honk the system. that over there. And then we go, oh, we want to discover the system, scan the system, and we open up the overlay. And ideally, the open up the FSS and closing FSS scanner would be the same as toggling the overlay. So that would happen automatically. So it would be something like that. Now manually pushing both keys at the same time. And we could maybe even add like a delay after you, so that it looks more like that, so it looks more natural when it comes in, and same thing when it goes out, so it doesn't look like it's. That is something we can look at. That's not too difficult to do. No, John, because the transparency is not handled in GIMP. It's handled in it's handled in the code. You can see here that the form has. Oh, we can't see when it's running. We just kill the form here. We have a transparency here, an opacity here. That's where we're controlling the the transparency of the tool here. We're not doing actually. See, this is like full opacity, 100% opacity here. So it's not opaque. No, there's no blend mode in this. We only have opacity. That's the only thing we really have to play with. But you know what? I think that's actually a pretty good first day for this tool. I mean, this is pretty much what I would consider usable. The main features that I want to work on. Let me just get my my list here. To-do list to open here. That is the HOTAS support and the multi-key support. That is the main changes I want to work on before I release it. What was trans? Why did I write trans? Oh yeah, no, that's not the offset. Yes, I have the key press injection. It's not really injecting key press into the game. It's more capturing. It's a you can see it here. Main form here. So you can see what I'm doing here is I use what's called a global keyboard hook. And problem is I'm not sure if this supports. And it seems the way it works is it says for each key in get values type of key. So it basically adds keys to the hooks. So it seems like, and this is just something I stole off the site that created this class. It's called the G hook, like a global hook. It seems like I should be able to basically just loop over all the keys on a HOTAS if I detect one, and then add that to the key hook maybe. I don't. There's some weird things around with the key hook here, and I'm afraid I'll have to completely redo that part of the code, which would really suck because it's really such a key part of it. Because as you can see here, it doesn't really know clicking left control, and I get this weird symbol. So there's some issues there with the way that is handled. And here we have shift, and we're gonna have tab here. So tab is really weird as well. So there's some issues with some of the special modifier keys, and I'll have to try and yeah. And you're right, Donglora, you can just use voice attack and then map it to a key on the keyboard. Actually, hold on. What happens if I click control now? Oh, not control, like control. Okay, even though it writes a weird symbol, it actually works. What about tab? That works too. Okay, so it does actually capture the key. I'll also use escape here. Yeah, I'll have to try and see if I can figure out a way to that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so apart from that the text is sometimes odd, I will have to try and get a way to get support for Hotelsen. Oh, I can't remember what this trans was. I'll move this down here. I'll have to go back and see what I was thinking about when I was watching when I wrote that. But no, hotel support is definitely the top priority now. Then multi-key support, so we can do like Alt, Shift, Control, blah blah blah, if whatever combination keys. And then persistent settings is the next thing, and this is basically my release line. This is the things that I think I need before I want to release the tool. A user offset, that was my idea that people could manually, like, let's just run this form again. That you maybe in the settings would be able to manually adjust it left or right and up and down, or stretch it. So basically we would have this calculated here, and then like plus a offset. Wow, all caps apparently. Auto scroll offset. I didn't want that. Anyway, some offset there that could be user defined, if in case people want to adjust it or it doesn't fit their screen exactly for some odd reason. That will allow people to manually adjust it if there's some weird screen resolutions that I haven't tested. But I'll have to also test this with other screen resolutions and screen aspect ratios to see how it performs when I do that. So the order I will probably do this is add these three things, then I'll go into to testing, and then we can move into to the nice to have kind of things here, right? So that's kind of the release schedule of this. Get those three things supported, get testing, and then we can have user offset, and I'll figure out what that trans was that I talked about. Oh, it's transparency. User transparency. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so problem is, Dongro, with having a full screen, that's why I've been doing all this this adjusting today, is let me just try and open this up here. Say I have the overlay running, and I click out of the game, I have my notepad here, and I want to, first of all, it's always on top, but let's say I now want to go into the game, and I click inside the form. You see, it doesn't highlight. I don't have control over it. I need to click outside the form itself, which was also why I tried to remove those big bars at the bottom, so we get as small as area. So I can click here, and now I have focus on elite. So if I did a full screen form, of course, what I could do is, I could make like a calibration where I open up a full screen form, and they say, click on the upper right-hand corner of your, that could work. So yeah, click on the upper right-hand corner of your FSS scanner, click on the lower left-hand corner of the FSS scanner, and then based on that, calculate it, and then resize it to fit only that area. That could. Yeah, okay, I got it, Dunglora. Exactly. I get what you mean now. That could be done. That's let's maybe like have a manual calibration form. I'll add that to the list as well. But I think, especially the persistent settings, I'm really looking forward to those, because damn, it's annoying to set the key bindings every time. Maybe use patterns in the colors field for to make them more different, and maybe add a distinct color pattern field for scenarios within the SSS range. But I don't, is there a specific range where scenarios are? not exactly sure where scenarios are, but if they are within a specific range, I mean, problem is we need to know exactly where the line is, and we can't really see it here in the info field. I think this whole thing here is basically scenarios. This whole concentrated signal sources. But yeah, I could see the idea of using some textures in here maybe, but I'm not sure how visible they would be. But I don't know. That's something I'll work on later on down the road. But at least for now, that is gonna be some additional add-ons later. And but for now, again, I have my to-do list here, which is what I'll be working on to get working. And then we can go into beta testing. I'll go into my own alpha testing. We can go into beta testing. And then we can go into a full release, which is probably not going to be this year. Probably going to be sometime next year. I don't know how quickly I can get this. I think these things could be potentially pretty difficult to do. Persistence settings should be pretty straightforward. I just need to figure out how it works. But as soon as I have that, it should be... so this one, maybe I should start with that actually, because it should be easy. Those two here might be more difficult. If I should rank them of how difficult they are, to do the easiest first, then I'll probably start with persistent settings, then do multi-key support, because that's just pure Boolean logic I need to code, so I can definitely do that. That's just logic. And then hotel support is probably going to be the most difficult one to do. But probably also the most important one to do, so, well, yay. Anyway, I'll close down this tool now. There we go. And I think now it would be a very good time to call it for today. I'm actually, I mean, pretty proud of what I managed to get here within 24 hours, and especially keeping in mind that that yesterday was last night was when I coded my first line of C#. So that turned out quite well. But yeah, anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this, and thanks a lot for all you guys who give me feedback in the chat. It's been absolutely great to have a second and third and fourth and fifth opinion in chat, even though maybe not everybody agreed at the same time. But I think overall there's been some very good feedback in the chat. And after all, I mean, this is a tool that's meant to be used by other people, so it needs to be something people actually want to use and look at. Deployment wise, it's going to be a little bit easier this time, I think, than it was before. My last tool was a PowerShell script executed by a bat file, and it was a little bit messy. But this time it's just going to be an exe file you're going to get. I'm still going to make it open source, meaning you're still going to be able to download the full source code and go and take the project and use it for yourself if you want to have a look at it. I really like keeping everything open source, so there's nothing hidden, nothing. I mean, so you don't just get a random exe file and trust that it's valid. Anyway, all that's gonna come later on down the road. But yeah, anyway, if you like the stream, remember to go down and give it a like down below, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, remember to do so that you know when this tool is out, because I will definitely be making a video on it, and in that video I will be sharing the download link for the tool when it's done. So if you haven't done that, go down and do that. And if you're on Twitch, of course, you can also follow me over there. So you might see the tool in action at some point doing a future live stream. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. And next live stream is going to be on Tuesday. The topic is still to be determined, but yeah, we'll see about that on Tuesday. And I hope I'll see you then. So thanks a lot for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys in space.